Welcome back, listeners. My name is Larry Kallevig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. And if you're just tuning in, you are listening to the Haven Financial Group radio show, where weekly we discuss crucial retirement and financial topics that really can make the difference between surviving retirement and thriving through those golden years, which we truly want to be as golden as possible. But we say it often, a failure to plan is a plan to fail. We don't want anybody to do that. But do you have a good partner that you can lean on through thick and thin, the good and the bad, the ups and downs of the market? And I don't say that just regards to money, all the retirement puzzle pieces. So again, if you can't answer that question, it may be worthy of 612-504-8400 or info@havenfinancialgroup.com. Shoot us an email. Come visit us. There is no cost. There's nothing to lose and only education to gain. And I truly, truly mean that, because we're just celebrated our 11-year anniversary, and we've helped lots of people through the educational process.
We're talking this morning about simplifying your retirement, which who doesn't want their retirement to be somewhat simple? We've all dealt with all of the things that life throws at us for, sometimes 65 and 70 years before finally getting to those golden years. But when we talk about simplifying, what we're really trying to talk about is making sure that you're comfortable financially so that you can enjoy those years. We talked about consistency and stability in your retirement and how important that can be. We're going to talk about the role of income and what that can play in your retirement. Larry calls it mailbox money. When you stop working, the one thing that really disappears and sometimes is a little bit surprising and you need to adjust to is the idea that there's no check coming every week or every 2 weeks. So let's talk a little bit about some of the different income sources that can help you be stable and can simplify your retirement. And we start with Social Security, which is one, Larry, that a lot of people will be collecting, and a lot of people probably have a lot of questions about.
They do. And before I jump into the Social Security, I said that the number one thing I ask people, what has been the biggest challenge of retiring? It's no more paycheck. Mm-hmm. And that is true. You work all those years, and every 2 weeks or once a month or every week you got paid. Now you retire and you go, oh, now what? So there's a really good book out there by Tom Hegna. It's called Paychecks and Playchecks. That's Paychecks and Playchecks by Tom Hegna. I know Tom. He grew up in West Central Minnesota, out in Morris, near where our family farm is. But good reading, and I encourage it. And it's kind of what we abide by. So Paychecks and Playchecks, again, by Tom Hegna. But Social Security, it's why we teach lots of classes on Social Security and tax. If you go to our website, you're invited. There's your invitation. All of the classes are on our havenfinancialgroup.com website. It's the number one income for retired Americans. And there's questions, always is, do I claim at 62? Do I wait till full retirement? Do I wait till 70? And that is a big decision. The average American leaves $182,000 on the table, a recent study, by claiming at the wrong time. And it's not for us to dictate when somebody should take it. It's to help them get an understanding of why it makes sense, why it doesn't make sense. Are you still working? Are you married? Do you have longevity? If you're married, one of the two of you. A lot should go into that decision making, not because we're trying to make it complicated, but there's variables that get into making that decision. And so many people, they just, okay, I'm going to turn it on at 62 because that's what my best friend did. Mm-hmm. I would say that's not a good way to make a decision. Your best friend may have different circumstances, and more than likely they do. 70+% of Americans turn it on at 62. 1% to 2% wait till 70. And that tells me a lack of education. It's why we really pride ourselves on, okay, Mitch Moss, our retirement specialist in the office, he probably does more Social Security reports for folks that come in. And he has conversations, actually we all do, about this topic and why it's so important, because it is a major income stream. And I know there's listeners right now that are going, yeah, but they're probably going to take it away. My opinion is it's been highly politicized for many, many years, and it's still here and it's not going anywhere. Yes, there could be some minor changes or modifications, but they're not taking it away. They absolutely not. And it's been highly polarized and politicized on both sides of the aisle. So I hope listeners put a lot of thought into when they turn it on and why it makes sense.
Yeah, we hope that the thought is not just I'm going to stick it to the government, because in the end, I think we all know usually the government wins. So
Correct.
you want to make sure that you're looking out for your best interest and not being concerned about what the government may think. Yeah, some education on Social Security, folks. The folks at Haven Financial Group can absolutely help you with that. It's so important. Let's talk about pensions, Larry, as a source of income. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have pensions anymore, but for those who do, they're pretty blessed, and maybe they need to have a little education about that as well.
Yeah, the old three-legged stool, because I'm kind of old
Right.
school. The three-legged stool, Social Security, we just talked on, and then the pensions. Again, a declining amount of people have them. We do come across quite a few that still do, some of our older clientele, and they are fortunate because that with Social Security for some folks, just like a couple from Lakeville this past week, that covers their expenses in retirement. It that really helps. But if you don't have a pension, how do I create my own pension? Maybe an income annuity is the right thing in that situation. Just this past week, a couple of clients of mine from Egan came in, and they had something that had matured, and they're both working. He's 70, and he says, "I'm going to work until another 12 years." I'm like, "Well, that's pretty good, but the chances are you're probably not." And again, they just wanted to secure an investment that would guarantee them a little bit of income to supplement Social Security, and that's what we did because they won't have pensions. So it provides predictable income, if a fixed amount over the course of your life, and of course, spousal continuation will be a choice. Again, you have to think through things a little differently as you look. Where are my income sources going to come from? And then the third leg to the retirement stool, retirement nest egg.
Mhm.
Those IRAs, those Roth IRAs, pre-tax, after-tax, non-qualified brokerage accounts. The accumulation years for many folks that we sit down with are behind them, and the distribution phase of life is ahead of them. So not only is it about income, it's about, okay, what accounts do I draw from in the most efficient way possible? And that's where taxes comes into play. So tax efficiency, this is a process that we help people understand because a lot of folks, when they retire, they go, well, now what do I do? Where do I draw from? Well, what drives that conversation is tax implications. Lance Larson's our CPA, and quite frankly, we just hired Jack, another CPA, as we help a lot of people on the planning phase, which does not have additional costs. And then they do tax preparation as well, and highly qualified. So if that's something you're looking at because you don't even get together with your guy or gal anymore, you drop off and pick up, I don't think that's enough attention you're getting. And that's the attention that we give, that Lance and Jack give, as we help people understand why certain things are being done from the tax implication side. And a lot of people are not getting that attention.
First thing I want to say about that, Larry, is that we're lucky enough to have Lance and his knowledge here on the show pretty frequently. And I don't think I've ever chatted with someone whose goal it is to keep money in other people's pocket and not in Uncle Sam's. I mean, he works hard and he's fully knowledgeable about just how to do that. So I can't say enough about Lance and his knowledge and his ability to make sure that you are functioning tax efficient. And the other thing I just wanted to say very quickly is that you say this, Larry, that you will frequently have people who come into your office and say, we're about to retire and we feel like finally we're going to get a break from Uncle Sam because you pay less taxes in retirement.
That's usually not the case for a lot of people. They end up paying more taxes in retirement. And I say at the beginning of a lot of classes, taxes will probably affect you more in retirement than ever before in your life. And I know that's not enough uplifting thing to say, but it's true. I obviously have a biased approach, and we're very blessed and fortunate to have Lance on the Haven team. But he truly is not afraid of the IRS. Of course, he
Mhm.
knows the tax code. We obey the tax code, but he's not afraid to challenge them when they make bad decisions, or all of a sudden they challenge our clients on a few things that are being done. And he helps people hold their hand through it, because sometimes when people get a letter from the IRS, there's panic stricken. If they bring it in, Lance will walk them through it, talk them through it, help them through it. And you're not going to find that from a lot of tax preparers. And, with that said, being we are talk taxes, I'd be remiss. Lance did ask me to just have a little plug on the show because this is a reminder from Lance, our CPA, that the due date for the Minnesota property tax refund just passed, but people can still file for it. Please make sure you either you or your tax preparer check to see if you qualify for that. We just got done helping somebody that this year get his refund, and we found out that his prior tax preparer never checked for the property tax refund, and he left about $7,500 on the table over the past 5 years because of this oversight. See, that's what happens when you're not going to somebody that's really paying attention or knows how to dot the I's and cross the T's. So again, he wanted me to mention that. That's why it's so important to have a partner. And on this segment, of course, talking about income, annuities can be used for income. We already discussed that. The other part is maybe sometimes people overlook is there's nothing that says for a lot of people that you can't continue to do a little work on the side.
Right.
In fact, you may want to occupy some of your time because what else are you going to do? You're going to fish every day? You're going to golf every day? We have lots of clients that part-time at Home Depot, Lowe's, maybe they're mowing grass at the country club. Nobody says that you can't work, maybe part-time consulting. So maybe that is an income source that we want to factor into the equation.
Right. Absolutely. So if any of this resonates with you, if you'd like to talk to someone about your potential income sources, give the folks at Haven Financial Group a call, 612-504-8400. It's 612-504-8400. You can talk to them about your retirement plans, put together a plan. You can talk about your income sources. And certainly, as we mentioned just a moment ago, if you're someone who's looking for some good advice when it comes to tax preparation, the folks there at Haven can certainly help you there. When we come back, we want to talk about the power of the Roth and how a Roth account can impact your stability and simplify your retirement. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.